Hello everyone, welcome to another video in our series on firearm safety. As I said, this is a series. The first two videos introduce the series, and you should watch them before you watch any of the others because they introduce important information that is relevant to all the other videos. So if you haven't watched those, please do so. The rest of the videos, including this one, are about specific firearms. This one, we're going to talk about the gun you see in front of you. It's a 22 caliber mini revolver. And the interesting thing about this one is it will shoot pretty much any 22 caliber cartridge, as I will show you in a little bit. This is, it's called a revolver. That means that the magazine and the firing chamber are combined. In fact, the magazine is a series of 5 firing chambers that are loaded with cartridges, and then the revolver action of the gun simply rotates this cylinder to move a new firing chamber into place until all the cartridges have been fired. This is a single action revolver, which means that you must pull the hammer back and then squeeze the trigger to fire it. Okay? Some revolvers are what are called double action, which means that when you pull the trigger, it pulls the hammer back and releases it. This one does not do that. You must pull the hammer back before pulling the trigger. This one actually has 2 different cylinders. One is for 22 Magnum rounds, and the other is for all other 22 caliber rounds. I'll hold this up. Don't know if you can see the M on the front of there. That means this is the cylinder that's used for Magnum cartridges. The other one has an LR on it, which means long rifle, but in addition to long rifle, it will also shoot longs, shorts, and birdshot, pretty much any 22 caliber cartridge except for Magnum, which must use this cartridge. Loading it is actually quite simple. It's simply a matter of taking the cartridges that you want to use, putting them into the cylinder like so. It holds 5. And if you're loading anything but 22 Magnums, you can actually intermix those. So for example, you could put in a couple of long rifles, then you could put in a short, which is the same diameter but a shorter casing. You can put those in any combination you wish. Now once the cylinder is loaded, it's placed in the gun by removing this pin. You depress the plunger on the front, remove the cylinder pin. Now I'm going to actually load it with the empty cylinder just for demonstration purposes. That's done by pulling the hammer back slightly, putting the cylinder into the open space in the middle of the frame, putting the pin in place, and then sliding the pin until it locks. Now if I had put the loaded cylinder in, this gun would now be ready to fire. As I said, this is called a single action, so it's prepared for firing by pulling the hammer back. And when you do that, it actually rotates the cylinder. When you pull the trigger, it releases the hammer. And then when you pull the hammer back the next time, it rotates to the next chamber in the cylinder, and that's how it's fired. Now this particular gun does not have a safety. It's assumed that the hammer will not be over an empty cylinder, and if the hammer is not pulled back, it can't be fired. So that's kind of a safety feature. As far as sights, this has such a short barrel, it's really not adequate for long-range accuracy, so it has only a front sight. And this gun is actually pointed more than aimed. This is for very close range shooting, so it's assumed that there wouldn't be much purpose to put a rear sight on because they're only a couple inches apart and wouldn't really give you much of an ability for accurate aiming. So that's the 22 mini revolver. that shoots all different kinds of .22 caliber rounds. And thanks for watching.